It's my honor to be among you distinguished guests today. Thank you also to Dr. Alvin for giving me this platform this morning. Who am I? Well, I just jumped from the sky and I'm here to take over the world. Well, that cast aside, my name is Lazola Pambo. I'm originally from Mthatha in the former Transkei. That's in the Eastern Cape, but home now is in Queenstown. I'm a South African author that works for Lingua Franca Publishers. It's an educational publisher based in Pretoria, opposite Loftus in Park Street, but the headquarters are in Giyani, Limpopo. So I just want to just summarize my writing journey. When did I start writing? I started writing around the year 2000, but I took it seriously around 2004. That's when I was endorsed by my former English teacher, Miss Margaret Dreyer. She was once a well-known English teacher back in Girls High School in the Eastern Cape. I'm not sure whether some of you may know it. And she actually encouraged me to pursue writing as a career and not just a hobby. Because I always had this stigma in my mind that, no, writing is a hobby, you can't earn like a living from it, you know. But she did explain further that the economic climate in South Africa when it comes to literature is very small. In other words, it's only 5,000 copies that make a bestseller out of a nation of 48 million, if not 50 million plus now, you know, which is embarrassing, you know. It means that there is a minimum percentage of South Africans that read novels or books in general. And among that percentage that I've come to find out is that it's mostly white people and coloreds, but I don't like calling them coloreds, I like saying Africans, that small majority, because you go to bookstores exclusive, the majority of people that you find there are whites. And when you show my fellow black person a book to read, they quickly want to run away, you know, because they think you're offering them homework. You know. Well, as I was saying, how did the creative writing modules influence me? They really played a major role for me, because I remember when I was under the helm of Ms. Ayob, and she was part of the creative writing. She gave us the freedom to always express ourselves and not be conformed to how things should be, how a novel should be written. She gave us that platform that, you know what, just twist, just make sure your narrative context goes way beyond your imagination. Don't follow a certain criteria. And I also studied linguistics and theory of literature. Those were very important modules for me, because I remember there was a time when I was struggling with dialogue. Because normally with dialogue in a novel, it has to be associated with the realistic, you know, dialogue. You can't just say, put a dialogue of, let's go to the cafeteria, and you say, can you please, Julie, go to the cafeteria? Make it formal. You have to make it as if you're talking to your friend, per se, you know. So I'm really happy that the lecturers at UNISA, especially in the creative writing department, not only in linguistics and theory of literature, they were very supportive, because as much as they are part of academia, they always were encouraging. I remember one session I had with Ms. Ayob. She was saying to me that, you know what, if you want to pursue this full-time, you have my full support. Even if you may have a part-time job working in publishing, but don't let anyone tell you that you cannot pursue it as a full-time career, because it's possible. You just have to work extremely hard. It's writing a novel. You can't just write one novel and say you've arrived. You have to work extremely hard, work on the next one. Not write 2 novels or 3 novels. Well, you have your esteemed writers like your Harper Lees, who only wrote 2 novels, and the rest is history for her. Another thing I wanted to dwell on is that as readers in general in South Africa, as citizens, I wanted to encourage us as South Africans that even in our homes we should encourage reading to our children, to our family, friends. Encourage, have it, whether it's over the holidays and you're having sessions together, family time. Don't always, because most of the time we are glued on our phones, we don't have time together around the fireplace and read a book. You know, we should encourage that as well. To round off my presentation, I wanted to read a small extract from to finalize things from my book. And I'll take it from chapter 4, page 32. Isaac was already repeating the same class for the third time. He was a fat kid and a freckled face and always had a bald head. He was a bully, and most kids in my class were afraid of him. Isaac was a monster, and some kids would give him their lunch boxes to avoid being beaten up. Personally, I was not scared of Isaac. To me, he was just a spoiled brat who needed a good hiding in order to sharpen his senses. Give me 20 bucks, Isaac demanded. What? Are you crazy? I replied. Who does Isaac think he is? I thought to myself, I was not going to offer him any money or my lunchbox for that matter. What are you saying, dumb face? He asked out loud. The next thing I know, some of our classmates next to us were looking at what was going on. A fight was brewing. I'm not your dumb face, stupid, I said. Some of my classmates who stood in the front could not believe my courage. Others started to laugh, while one of Isaac's friends asked, Buddy, you're letting him get away with that. I told myself, if Isaac tried to pull anything funny on me, he would get a taste of his own medicine. After all, I was not the one who started the trouble. Isaac picked on me for no reason. Maybe he was bored or something, but that was none of my business. When bored, I never went around the school stirring up a fight or vandalizing the school property. I was determined to teach Isaac a lesson. Now we were head to head like two boxers in a ring. I looked at him without any fear at all. I was also angry that none of the prefects took notice of what was happening. Their attention was still fixed on the senior students who walked like tortoises into the assembly. Think you clever, eh? Said Isaac while walking towards me and gave me a slap across my left cheek. Anyone who has been slapped can admit that the burning sensation of a hard slap remains on one's cheek before it goes away. I lost my mind. I heard some kids laughing, and I swung my right clenched fist and punched Isaac straight in his right eye. While he stumbled backwards, I jumped on him, strangling him by the shirt collar of his neck. Yes, beat him up, Cliff, beat him up. I heard some of my schoolmates cheering. Isaac managed to move my hand from his neck as we rolled on the ground. I felt his punch across my rib cage, and I lost it. I charged upon him like a madman, punching and kicking him at the same time while he lay on the concrete, covering his face with both hands. The senior prefects only saw what was going on when they heard the noise from the cheering kids, who were excited that I was beating the hell out of Isaac's bullying mind. Since we were at the back, one of the prefects came running towards us. I did not stop fighting. I kept thrashing Isaac harder and harder. When the prefect stopped the fight, my green jersey was torn and my knuckles had blood. Isaac's nose, on the other hand, was bleeding, and his right eye was blue. He broke my nose, he said, pointing at me, crying. Thank you for your time, and that's just about it. A copy sells for $160, as I displayed it here. So thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.